That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, we're going to go through and we are going to be talking about some must-add waiver wire running backs. We've had some significant injuries to the running back position. We've also had some usage changing in these backfields. So there's going to be a lot to talk about here, but you know exactly what we have to do before we get into it. We have to go through, give away some Fantasy Flock Network hats. Let me go and pull up our most recent video. That way I can choose 2 random winners because, you know, every single video, like we're giving away hundreds and hundreds of hats this season. Every single video we are going through and choosing a random winner down there in the comment section for someone who dropped a like on the video, for someone who left a comment at the same time. Our first winner going to be coming out from Ken, who says, "Happy birthday, young man. Enjoy everything." Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You are going to be winning that Fantasy Flock Network hat. And I believe our next winner is going to be coming out from Brian, who says, "Happy birthday, Mason, full PPR." Then you ask start say question. I apologize. I did not get to that in time. All you have to do is go to the description of the video, send me an email with your physical address. That way I can get that to you ASAP. And yeah, let's dive into it. Let's talk about these must-start waiver wire running backs. And our first guy that we are going to be looking at here is going to be Daryl Williams. With Daryl Williams, thank God I waited a little bit longer to record this video because we would have completely ignored the Clyde Edwards-Helaire injury if we had to record this before the Sunday night game. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'm going to be honest, we don't have the official report right now. We are going to be waiting for that to hopefully come out on Monday. Of course, we're going to be live streaming every single day so we can go through and we can answer questions regarding, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is someone that we can rely on for the rest of the season. What exact role we will have from Daryl Williams. But Williams was a running back that was trending in the right direction for a couple weeks now. I actually called Clyde Edwards-Helaire a sell high running back a week ago, and I am not coming out here and saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm so smart, Clyde Edwards-Helaire." No, that's the exact opposite. But it's more so based on the idea that Daryl Williams was someone proving that he was going to be a running back that was continuing to get more and more snaps, more and more carries, more and more targets in this offense. He's increased his role every single week since week 1. So, I think at this point, trying to determine who the running back 2 is between Daryl Williams and Jerick McKinnon, it's not even a close discussion. Of course, this was something that we were having to talk about coming into the season. But with Williams here, if you're going to be going through and looking at the opportunity that he has had in this backfield over the past few weeks, a big thing that I like seeing is the fact that he is not just getting used as one of those other handcuffed running backs where he comes in. Maybe he's going to get 12 carries, no usage in the receiving game. No, with Daryl Williams, this has been a running back that's been consistently getting targeted out of the backfield, where if you're going to be looking at it, he literally just had 5 targets in this game where, of course, he wasn't the lead running back the entire time because Clyde Edwards-Helaire played the majority of this game here for the Kansas City Chiefs before leaving the field and being immediately ruled out with that knee injury. Also with those 5 targets, he was able to convert it to 18 receiving yards, 3 receptions, more just dump off passes, but that's kind of what we're looking for here. With Daryl Williams, this is a running back that can get 4 receptions a game in Kansas City. That's going to be fantastic, knowing that if he can also kind of soak up what you've had with Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the carries out of the backfield over the past few weeks. Just going back to what we had in week 4 with Daryl Williams against the Philadelphia Eagles, where of course you actually had Clyde Edwards-Helaire playing this entire game as the lead running back. Daryl Williams came out, he had 10 carries out of the backfield, 42 rushing yards. He had 2 receptions and 16 receiving yards to go along with it. So if we can all of a sudden expect Williams to be a running back consistently seeing maybe 20 touches a game here, if he's getting close to 15, 16 carries, if he's getting close to 4 receptions out of the backfield at the same time, I know he's not an extremely talented running back, but neither is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I never ever in a million years would tell someone to draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire or trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire based on the talent that he has. No, the entire reason Clyde Edwards-Helaire was valuable in fantasy to begin with because he was the starting running back for one of the most productive offenses in football. We've said that phrase every single time we've ever brought up the name Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Well, now Daryl Williams is the lead running back on one of the most productive offenses in football. I know the Chiefs haven't been disappointing, but you'd imagine that they're going to be able to go through and they are able to just kind of clean up some of those turnovers, which will make it a completely different offense here. So yeah, I think you have to just go and look at Daryl Williams and probably call him the number 1 pickup of the week. Keep in mind, right now, we don't know what's going to go on with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We are recording this on Sunday night, but I think you at least have to be optimistic based on the offense. Now, our next running back stepping in for another injury. Devonte Booker stepping in for Saquon Barkley here. I mean, obviously, Devonte Booker automatically going into that role as the bell cow running back when there's nobody else in New York. And if you're going to be going over and looking at what we had with Devonte Booker at the same time, talk about the usage in the receiving game. This is someone that had 4 targets out of this backfield this past week. He gets the normal 16 rushes that we would expect. And no, with Devonte Booker, it's not a good offensive line. It's not a good running back. So you're not that excited about him maybe having running back 1 level upside. He's not Saquon Barkley. I mean, that goes without saying. But still, he is a running back that all of a sudden is going to be seeing 20 touches a game. I will say I would prefer Daryl Williams. It, of course, is going to depend on the significance of the Clyde Edwards-Helaire knee injury. But on a points per game basis, between Devonte Booker and Daryl Williams, my bet's going to be with Daryl Williams, who's going to be playing in the more productive overall offense. That still shouldn't take anything away from Devonte Booker, however, because this is a running back that was getting usage at the goal line. This is someone that had 2 touchdowns in this game. Now, a big thing that I want to keep in mind is this next week, you have the Giants going up against the Los Angeles Rams, and Daniel Jones looking like he may be out this game with a concussion. Also, Kenny Golladay may be out this game with a knee injury. Also, Darius Slayton may be out this game. Sterling Shepard may be out this game. And I know maybe a lot of people are going, oh, is that going to mean they're going to have to run the ball consistently with Devonte Booker? No. That's not what that's going to mean at all. Going up against the Rams, that means you're not going to be surprised if this turns into what you had with the Houston Texans versus the Buffalo Bills a few weeks ago, where, I mean, this team isn't able to drive the ball down the field effectively at all, where you can't start anybody in this offense. So with Devonte Booker, probably not starting him unless we get the scenario that Daniel Jones plays, Saquon Barkley sits. But regardless, stepping into that role, just next man up, especially once we get to these bye weeks, and you're going to have a harder time going through and finding that running back production. I'm just getting someone that is sliding into that workload. It is going to be a great call. Now, our next running back's more of a speculative ad for the long term, but I still think he's someone we should look at. Romandra Stevenson. Now, the preseason darling with Stevenson here, we actually called him a sleeper running back before the preseason even started. I was very surprised to see that he's been a healthy and active for the first few weeks in New England. But JJ Taylor was that healthy and active this week, and they thought it was about the time to go and bump up Romandra Stevenson. Now, if you're just looking at the box score, I know it's going to be like, oh my God, Stevenson got 11 carries, 23 rushing yards. My initial reaction at the same time, because I'm not going to lie to you, it was my birthday on the 10th. I'm not spending my birthday watching the Houston Texans play the New England Patriots. No, but what we were able to do is go do some in-depth research on what actually happened in this game. And you actually had Damian Harris fumbling at the goal line. Not like Damian Harris got his workload cut off for that. Also, Damian Harris had a chest injury that he missed a portion of the game from. So that's the main reason that you're seeing this workload for Romandra Stevenson. Not trying to sell it as Stevenson's taking over the starting running back right now. Moreover, I'm probably going to be listing him as a must-add waiver wire running back. I mean, regardless of what we got with Damien Harris, just because him being active this game, I think is very encouraging. With James White going down to a season-ending injury, more likely than not. I mean, this is a spot where you'd expect that Romandra Stevenson, based on his workload in college, can get some usage in the receiving game that we know Damien Harris really has no access to. So I think Romandra Stevenson, more of a speculative ad, and we're not trying to say that he's taking over for Damien Harris right now. Y'all know I was never a big fan of Damien Harris, and if he's going to continue to fumble the ball, I mean, what have we seen with Bill Belichick? What have we seen with him having no allegiance to one given running back? It's a plug-and-play position. I think Stevenson could be next guy up. Okay, now our next running back, we got to see him on Thursday night. Very similar to what we're talking about with Devonte Booker here. This is a running back falling into opportunity. Don't like the offense, though. Alex Collins. Now with Alex Collins, I mean, this is a running back that's rostered in 37% of leagues. So this is someone that is not going to be in every single league for you to go through and pick up. Still, I mean, he is going to have the workload. If we see this injury linger for Chris Carson, I mean, I would imagine that Alex Collins not going to have a significantly high ceiling, just given the overall struggles this Seattle Seahawks offense is going to face with no Russell Wilson here. But this will be a running back that has an extremely high floor. And what are we saying? We're going to the bye weeks. I mean, everybody's having that running back go down. I mean, if you had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if you had Saquon Barkley, you're not able to go pick up one of their handcuffs, maybe you just go and get Alex Collins as this is a running back that we don't know the exact timetable on Chris Carson. Of course, Chris Carson is a running back that has dealt with a multitude of injuries throughout his own NFL career. Now, if we're going to be looking at Collins, I'm not going to be starting him this upcoming week, even if we have Chris Carson out, just based on the fact that I know people maybe want to say, oh, the Seahawks are going to be more run heavy without Russell Wilson. No, the Seahawks are already as run heavy as they can possibly be with Russell Wilson. I mean, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, it would be a very tough matchup. But there are some better matchups on the schedule upcoming. I mean, they got the Packers, they have the Seahawks, they have the Saints, they have the Cardinals. I mean, there are a couple interesting games here that if we would see Chris Carson miss, I think there you could potentially play Alex Collins. And like I said, everybody's desperate for running backs. Let's continue to turn that bottom of the roster. Now, a more premium option, probably should have discussed them at the beginning of the video. I know that we've actually been on our must-add running back video for maybe the third week in a row now. Michael Carter. Here with Michael Carter, very simple. We are seeing him continue to take over as the lead running back with the New York Jets. Obviously a great matchup here. And yes, you actually get Ty Johnson vulturing a touchdown away from Michael Carter at the goal line this past week, which is definitely going to make the overall production not look as nice for Carter if you're going to be looking at just the fantasy points scored overall. But still, this is a running back that did get his own touchdown at the goal line. He had 10 out of the 17 carries in this backfield. He had 3 out of the 6 targets. Now, you are very worried about what we have from this entire New York Jets offense. You're worried that this team's just not going to be able to effectively move the ball down the field. But with that being said, if something turns around for this Jets offense, and if Michael Carter continues to see more and more snaps, which he should, he's trending in the right direction. He was one of the younger running backs in the NFL in this draft class. And if we're going to be looking at Ty Johnson, there's no reason, there's nothing to get excited about with that profile. Tevin Coleman really not getting any snaps at all at this point. I think he had like 5 snaps this week, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, Michael Carter just looks like he is continuing to expand his role as the lead running back in New York. Go pick him up if you have not already. Now, we should have definitely put him at the top of the list because this running back's not going to be available in many leagues at all. This running back's going to be available in about 30% of leagues. Right now, Yahoo says he's rostered in 66% of leagues. So technically, he should be available in 1 out of every 3 leagues. But if you are playing in a fantasy football league where people know what they're doing, he's rostered. A.J. Dillon. Now with A.J. Dillon here, I just want to bring him up. I want to bring him up even if he's not someone from the waiver wire because it was a fantastic week for A.J. Dillon. And that not only did he continue to expand his role in this offense where he had 79 total yards and a touchdown. I mean, obviously you like to see that level of production. But what I like to see even more from A.J. Dillon is the fact that he is proving he can catch the ball because we've always said with Dillon, this is a running back that's going to have a high floor for your bye weeks. I mean, we know that he's going to be stepping into that Jamal Williams role. So if you're desperate for a running back too, you can go through, you can play him, just kind of hope that we get a touchdown in that game. But the main reason you're attaching a lot of value to A.J. Dillon here is the fact that if something were to occur to Aaron Jones, all of a sudden A.J. Dillon would become a top 10 running back in this offense. Now, I'll say I've had some hesitations in saying that. A big issue is with A.J. Dillon, if you look at his profile coming out of Boston College, he's very much like Derrick Henry. He's not someone that you're assuming is going to be a massive pass catcher. But still, I think that you're looking at Dillon saying 4 receptions this week. I mean, maybe we're changing our mind on what you're going to be getting with the passing down role for A.J. Dillon. I think this is a completely different scenario now where we have to view him as that locked and loaded bell cow if something does happen to Aaron Jones. Yeah, I mean, love what we have from A.J. Dillon here with the overall upside that he has in this offense. Now, let's scale it back. I know we're talking about some premium options. Let's go back to some guys that you're going to be looking at in deeper leagues. Let's go over to Kahil Herbert, who this is a running back that I mean, I think that we are almost proven right with what we were saying about Daryl Williams in every single live stream this week going, I don't know if he is going to step in to be that 3-down running back. I don't know if he is going to be able to be a workhorse in Chicago. Herbert actually comes out and he gets in this offense 18 carries. I mean, he clearly splits this backfield 50-50. It's the exact opposite of what you have with David Montgomery, where we know if David Montgomery is playing, this is a running back seeing 80 to 90% of the running back touches. No, it looks like it's going to be a 50-50 split. I mean, Daryl Williams, you definitely prefer having him knowing that he is going to be getting the targets out of the backfield. But if you're playing in a 14-man format, if you're playing in a dynasty format, and we're desperate for some running back production, I think Herbert could be an intriguing pickup because, I hate to say it, but maybe he's just a poor man's version of that guy like James Conner, a poor man's version of someone like A.J. Dillon, where you know that he's going to be a worse running back in the committee with his other partner, but you could go through, and if you're desperate enough at your running back 2 spot, you could go through and start him knowing that he is going to be getting weekly touches and just hope that you're going to be getting a touchdown. And if anything were to occur to the other running back in the backfield, then he steps up to a 3-down role. So yeah, you're not as excited, but we have to at least mention him here. Now our next running back, Sony Michelle. I thought Sony Michelle was going to be at the top of this list whenever you saw Daryl Henderson go down last Thursday night. Henderson was able to pop right back up. He was able to get back in this game. But now this has been a continued trend with Daryl Henderson in 2020 and in 2021, where he's been a running back that has shown that he's going to miss some time. And here with Sony Michelle, this is a running back that playing in one of the best offenses in the NFL. I mean, we have seen this so many weeks so far this season by the Los Angeles Rams, where they are able to just go through and move the ball down the field effectively and efficiently. And B, with Sony Michelle, I mean, he has proven that he can handle that workload. I mean, back in week 4, you actually had him seeing 20 carries and 4 targets out of the backfield. So he does have that elite ceiling with his usage if anything were to occur to his running back backfield mate in Daryl Henderson. I mean, you're not starting him any week that Henderson is active, just knowing that he's going to be a pure handcuff. I think he is one of those pure handcuffs, though, that has the highest ceiling possible. Now, lastly, let's just go over this very briefly. Let's talk about Samaje Perine here. Perine looking like you're going to have to go through and pick him up if you have Joe Mixon. I mean, this is a running back that had 11 carries this past week, 59 rushing yards, 4 receptions, 24 receiving yards at the same time. I mean, like we were talking about, liking these running backs that are stepping up into that role and also adding on the reception bonus. That's what we're looking for. Now, I don't think we're starting Samaje Perine this upcoming week. If Joe Mixon is active, you would expect Joe Mixon expands his own role. But who knows? I mean, Dalvin Cook went from being a running back that we didn't know if he was going to be playing in week 4. He plays in a limited capacity. Then all of a sudden he's out in week 5. Maybe we see something similar here with Joe Mixon. I mean, if Joe Mixon, who's not out of the woods yet with this ankle injury, does end up missing in week 6, I think Samaje Perine is someone that you probably have to go through and play. Now, thank you. That's all I got for y'all. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please go down there, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with any questions you may have. I mean, every time you go down there and do that, you get entered in to win a Fantasy Flock Network hat. So go take advantage of that. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Hope you all have a great day, and I hope I see y'all with the video tomorrow.